A new day brings new opportunities to make your mark rise and shine. It is time to shine with your words. Good morning to Reverend Father Principal, Sister Jana, our judges and teachers. We welcome you all to today's Declamation competition where passion meets perseverance, where words come alive. Today, our contestants will take the stage to deliver powerful speeches that will inspire, persuade, and ignite you. For today's program, we have Sister Nancy and Nisha ma'am, who are most talented and experienced teachers of our school, to judge today's performances. Once again, we welcome you, Sister and ma'am. Now let's meet our contestants and get ready to be mesmerized. So here I would like to invite our code number 1. Code number 1, representing the famous speech of Malala Yousafzai. Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. Do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. Today is the day of every woman, every boy, and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. There are hundreds of human rights activists and social workers who are not only speaking for their rights but also struggling to achieve their goals of peace, education, and equality. Thousands of people have been killed by the terrorists and millions have injured. So I am just one of them. So here I stand, one girl among many. I speak not for myself but for those without voice can be heard. Those who fought for their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, their right to be equality of opportunity, their right to be educated. Dear friends, on 9th of October, Taliban shoot me on my left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullets would silence us, but they failed. And then, out of that silence came thousands of voices. The terrorists thought that they would change my aims and stop my ambitions. But nothing changed in my life except this. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. I am the same Malala. My ambitions are the same. My hopes are the same and my dreams are the same. Dear fellows, today I am focusing on women's right and girls' education because they are suffering the most. There was a time when women social activists asked men to stand up and speak for their right. But this time we will do it by ourselves. I am not telling men to step away from speaking for women's right. Rather I am focusing on women to be independent to fight for themselves. Dear brothers and sisters, dear fellows, today I am focusing. Dear brothers and sisters, it's time to speak up. Dear brothers and sisters, we must not forget that millions of people are suffering from poverty, injustice, and ignorance. We must not forget that millions of children are out of their schools. We must not forget that our brothers and our sisters are waiting for a bright, peaceful future. So let us pick up our books and our pens. They are the most peaceful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the whole world. Education is only the solution. Education first. Thank you. Present here to deliver the speech of Yatan Bhaskar. Now I will start. We have come a long way as a civilization from Rig Veda and Samveda to the longest written constitution of the world, from building Pushpa Vimans 4,000 years ago to today building Miraj and Tejas, from worshipping Moon and Mars to today going to Moon and Mars through Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan. We have come a long way as a civilization. Today I see three aspects. What is a sustainable future for me? What is the role of youth? And how can we connect both of these together ecologically? Ladies and gentlemen, the West has just started to learn the concept of living in harmony with nature. But as a civilization, we have been worshipping trees and eating on banana leaves for centuries. Today, as young people, it is important for us to understand the concept that nature has enough for your need, not for your greed. It is important for us to take small steps. For example, as youngsters, rather than buying 2500cc bike, we buy a 2500 rupees bicycle for local travel. And when we will have the nation, where through vocational education, a young Dalit boy from Gujarat becomes the leading shoemaker of the world, and a barber from Tamil Nadu becomes the hairstylist of Hollywood actors. Through such entrepreneurship and skill development, our youth can become job givers rather than being job seekers, and that will lead to a sustainable economy. Today, I dream a nation where the youth of this nation, rather than feeling proud about Sundar Pichai being the CEO of Google and Satya Nadella leading Apple, will build our own Google and our own Facebook. That day, we will be technologically sustainable. Today, I live in a nation, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, where a cigarette which can kill you is sold openly, but when a girl has to buy sanitary pads, she has to hide them in black curtains. Today, I live in a nation where it's been 77 years since the white man has left, but still we are living in that inferiority complex and using fairness cream to whiten our skin, to whiten our culture, to whiten our education, and to whiten our standard of life. In this era of globalization, we have another important point, and that is mental health. Mental health should become an important part of our curriculum. Dear audience, today when we take care of all these avenues, we lead to a nation that is socially, economically, and politically sustainable and has the youth that has education and wisdom and mental health ability to lead the nation towards the sustainable future. And to conclude, I believe from dusk to dawn that this sustainable future is incomplete without the efforts of 1.45 million Indians, as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has once rightly articulated that great nations are not made by handsome people, they are made by those who can give their hands to serve. Thank you.
I'll help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Good morning, Honorable Chief Guest, Reverend Father Principal, Sister, and my dear friends. Today, I code number 3, present here to declaim a speech of Malala Yousafzai. Today is an honor for me to speak again after a long time. I don't know where to begin my speech. I don't know what people are expecting me to say. But first of all, I thank you, Almighty God, for whom we all are equal. Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. It is a day of every woman, every boy and every girl who have struggled and raised their voice for their rights. Thousands of people have been killed by the terrorists and millions have been injured. I'm just one of them, so here I stand, one goal among many on 9th October 2012. The Taliban showed me on the left side of my forehead. The terrorists thought that they would change my aim and stop my ambition. But nothing changed in my life, except this weakness, fear, hopelessness died. Strength, power and courage was born. I am not against anyone either. I am here to talk in terms of personal revenge about the Taliban. I am here to speak up for the right of education of every child. I do not even hate the Tali who showed me. Even if I have a gun in my hand and he is standing in front of me, I will not shoot him. This is the compassion, legacy of change, philosophy of non-violence and forgiveness that I have learned from my parents. So if we want to achieve our goals, let us empower ourselves with weapon of knowledge and shield ourselves with unity and togetherness. Dear brothers and sisters, do remember, let us pick up. Let us pick up our books and our pens because they are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. Thank you.
The principal, vice principal, respected teachers and all my dear friends. My code number is 4 and I stand here to declaim a world famous speech by Swami Vivekananda delivered at Chicago 18 September 1983 which touched the entire world. Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. It was not the courtesy of your invitation alone that has brought us hither, but the heart of the people has been moved by the same impulse that has brought us to the front. It is time of awakening and progress in the world. In this movement, there is no country, people is not taking part. It is the great mission of all time to bring all the nations of the earth into the same common field of humanity, to make the world one and to teach that it has one Father, one one God. In the face of this gratitude, let us learn to live with one another in peace and to teach our children it is better to be the handmaidens of one God than to be the champions of one party or sect. The religious tolerance, the unity of all religions, the goodwill which has brought us should be a living lesson to us all. I believe that all religions have a common source in their great divine being and all religions are meant to serve the same purpose. The Hindus believe that the divine spirit exists in every soul and that all religions are but various parts to the same truth. The Vedanta philosophy teaches that God is within us all and that we are all one. This truth is taught by all religions and this common ground of a faith should make us more tolerant, more loving and more understanding. If the teaching of Christ, Buddha and Muhammad are studied in their true spirit, we will see that they are all alike in their essence. They are like the different paths that lead to the same mountain peaks. There is no higher or lower religion, no better or worse religion. All religions are true in their own way and are meant to serve the same purpose. Let us pray to God to give us the strength to follow the teachings of our respective religion with sincerity and devotion and spread the message of love, tolerance among all mankind. Let us strive to make a one better place by practicing virtues of peace, compassion and understanding. I thank you for your kind attention and wish that God may bless you. Thank you.
Principal, dear sisters and dear judges. Today I quote number 5. Stand here to speak Greta Thunberg's speech. My name is Greta Thunberg. I'm 16 years old. I come from Sweden and I speak on behalf of future generations. I know many of you don't want to listen to us. You say we are just children, but we are only repeating the message of the United Planet Science. Many of you appear concerned that we are wasting valuable lesson time, but I assure you we will go back to school the moment you start listening to science and give us a future. Is that really too much to ask? I was fortunate to be born in a time and place where we had everything we needed. Things our grandparents could not even dream of. But now we probably don't even have a future because that future was sold so that a small number of people could make unimaginable amounts of money. Around the year 2030, 10 years, 252 days and 10 hours away from now, we will be in a position where we set off an irreversible chain reaction beyond human control that will most likely lead us to the end of our civilization. We must also bear in mind that these are not just calculations. These projections are backed up by scientific facts. The climate crisis is both the easiest and the hardest issue we have ever faced. The easiest because we know what we must do. We must stop the emissions of greenhouse gases. The hardest because our current economies are still dependent on burning fossil fuels. Did you hear what I just said? Is my microphone on? Because I'm beginning to wonder. During the last 6 months, I have been traveling around Europe for hundreds of hours in trains, electric cars and buses, repeating these life-changing words over and over again. But no one seems to be talking about it and nothing has changed. In fact, the emissions are still rising and the basic problem is that nothing is being done to halt or even slow climate and ecological breakdown despite all the beautiful words and promises. This ongoing irresponsible behavior will no doubt be remembered in history as the greatest failures of mankind. Many of you say that we don't have solutions to the climate crisis, but sometimes we simply just have to find a way. But the opportunity to do so will not last for long. We children are doing this to wake up the adults. We children are doing this because we want our hopes and dreams back. I hope my microphone was on. I hope you could hear me. Thank you.
Judges, I quote number 6.
is presenting the speech of Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. Let me begin by extending my very best wishes for the year 2024. I wish health and happiness for you and your families and peace for our world. Our organization was founded on the pursuit of peace. Peace is a reason to retire. Yet, as we scan the landscape of the today's world, the missing most thing dramatically is peace. As inequalities explode, peace with justice is shattered. Around the globe and across the range of issues, peace is the missing piece. People want peace and security. People want peace and dignity. And frankly, they want peace and quiet. There's so much hate, anger, and noise in our world today. Every day and every time, it seems it's war. Wars of words, tough wars, culture wars. This is especially troubling in a year when half of humanity will go to the polls. Meanwhile, more and more families are falling behind. More and more countries are drawing in debt. Peace is the way out of these interlinked crises. Peace is more than a noble vision. Our obligation is to act together. Peace in all its dimensions. Excellencies, the situation in Gaza is a festering wound that threatens the entire region. Nothing justifies the horrific terror attack launched by Hamas on Israel on 7th of October, nor is there an justification for the collective punishment of the Palestinian people. Humans are making new weapons to kill each other. Humanitarian workers are saving their lives and easing suffering around the world. I pay tribute to their heroic effort and to those aid workers who have paid the ultimate price most recently and tragically in Gaza. Excellencies, we need strength and renew global peace and security to deal with the complex objectives for our new agenda for peace. Thank you and have a peaceful day.
Which she declared on 10 December 2014 when she accepted the Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo, Norway. Your Majesty, distinguished guests, and dear fellow activists, today I am not raising my voice for myself, but for those without a voice. I am not raising my voice for myself, but for those who have fought for their rights and freedoms. I am not raising my voice for myself, but for those whose voices have been silenced. I am not raising my voice for myself, but for the 66 million girls who have been deprived of education. I am not raising my voice for myself, but for the countless people who have been deemed their right to live in peace. I am not raising my voice for myself, but for those who have been subjected to violence, oppression, and terrorism. I am not raising my voice for myself, but for the Malalas of the world who have been deemed their right to education. I am not a lone voice. I am many. I am Malala. But I am also Shahazia. I am Kena. I am Kena's sister. I am the girls in South Valley. I am the girls in Nigeria. I am the girls in Pakistan. We are those voices which have been silenced. We are those voices which have been suppressed. We are not just statistics. We are not just numbers. We are human beings. We are the future of the world. We are the ones who will shape the destiny of our countries, communities, and our homes. We are the ones who will bring peace, prosperity, and progress. We are the ones who will make a difference. So, let us become the change we want to see in the world. Let us make our voices heard. Let us stand up for our rights. Let us fight for our freedom. Let us be the change makers. Let us be the peace builders. Let us be the ones who will bring peace in the world. Thank you. Claim a message inspired by Barack Obama's iconic speech. In a world where we are often told that we are not good enough or that we can't make a difference, we must respond with a simple creed. Yes, we can. Yes, we can build a brighter future for ourselves and our community. Yes, we can bridge the gaps that divide us. Yes, We can create a world where everyone has access to quality education, healthcare, and opportunity. Yes, we can be the change we see. We are the leaders of tomorrow. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the ones who will shape the future of India and the world. So let us march forward together with hope in our heart and power of our conviction. Let us show the world that we, the youth of India, can make a difference. Let's come together as one people, one nation, and one world. Let's choose hope over fear, unity over division, and action over apathy. Let us strive for excellence in all we do and support each other in our pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. And most important, let us be the generation that makes a difference. Let us be the generation that creates a brighter future and promote equality, justice, and human rights for all. Yes, we can heal this nation. Yes, we can repair this world. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
A very good afternoon to dear Father Principal, dear teachers, and my beloved students. Really, my heart was jumping because of immense pleasure after hearing the beautiful voice of our young generation. First of all, I congratulate all the participants and the teachers who prepared the students for today's competition. The messages given by all the students, even though they were imitating the great leaders, are very important for our future. Some of them were living the leaders, great leaders, especially I found out many of them were following the words of Malala. Are you familiar with Malala? Who is Malala? Okay, it's a homework for you all to find out who all are these great leaders, especially Malala and Swami Vivekananda, Barack Obama, and so on. Dear children, these students are the models for all of you. We can also prepare well and present well before an audience, in front of an audience. Prize will get or not, but the strength to stand in front of a small audience is very important. So once again I congratulate all the participants and best wishes for your future. And dear children, you can also one among them in future. Best wishes and once again thank you and congratulations for the teachers who prepared and the coordinators of today's program. Thank you.
Yes. Do you all enjoy the performance today? Yes. It was nice. Yes, it was wonderful. And it was really mesmerizing to look at all these candidates. But the amount of confidence these children had, it was tremendous. The hard work that they had put in was tremendous. It was really wonderful. Big round of applause to all of them. Let's put our hands together for all of them. Before we start, let me just ask all of you all, have they spoken their own speeches? Did they speak their own speeches? Did they do their own speeches? Have you all spoken your own speeches? No, they haven't. In a declamation competition, we take somebody else's speech. Why do we do so? Any idea? Why are we taking somebody else's speech? Can anybody stand over there and tell me? Why are we taking somebody else's speech? Why are we speaking somebody else's speech? Anybody?
That is because we try to, all these speeches, they were spoken about by some renowned personality at some great occasion. Sometimes, in the past, they had spoken some great, maybe during the launch of a missile, or maybe at the independence, or any great event like that. And because we want to inculcate that same kind of emotion, that is why we speak the speeches from these renowned personalities. But most of the time, now let me ask you all, can you remember even one line, whatever these candidates have spoken? Any one of you? Did you like how they spoke? All of you liked how they spoke? Yes. Can anybody speak any one line, whatever they have spoken? Any one of you? Yes, please, stand up. Come fast, run, come. Come running here. Wonderful, come fast.
Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing, Malala Day is not my day. Today is the day of every woman, every boy and every girl who have raised their voice for their right. There are hundreds of human rights activists, social workers who are not only speaking for their rights but who are struggling to achieve their goals.
That is wonderful. Now, this is the main purpose of having a speech. Whatever you are speaking, if any person remembers, only then the speech becomes important. Otherwise, whatever you say, it becomes meaningless. One small example I would like to give you. Every day, you stand for the assemblies, isn't it? And every day, Father gives some or the other messages. During these messages, you might have seen everybody listens to what Father says. Am I right? But most of the time, when children are speaking, the messages or anything in the assemblies are going on, most of the time you find that they are not listening to that. Why is it? Because the way they speak, it is very important. One of the children over there, they had taken the Malala speech. The Malala speech, somebody remembered because the way it was presented. So the most important thing, whenever we have a declamation competition or any public speaking, it is very important how we speak. How we speak, are we giving the message very clear to people? That is the most important aspect. So, keep on learning and keep on growing. Thank you.
So, did you all like the declamation competition? Or very bored? Very getting bored? Listening to long speeches which almost went over your head. Right? That means many of the things that were spoken you did not understand. Bombastic words were used which you must have never heard sometimes. Right? Isn't it? Well, but I comment the memory power that they have. Isn't it? So there's such long speeches with so many good words and long sentences. How on earth they could memorize? I myself am confused. I don't think I will be able to do such a thing in my life, to memorize such a long speech and speak of great personalities. As ma'am said, why do we have such speeches of the great personalities? We take up and speak in front of other audience because we are inspired by those speeches, right? We are all inspired by those speeches at that time, and still that have an effect on us. Still the speeches have an effect on us. You know the difference between a speech competition and a declamation? It's already clear to you. I'm just wanting to know from the audience. Who can tell me the difference between a speech competition and a declamation? It was already spoken out by Nisha ma'am also. Anybody? जो बता सकता है मेरे से? I feel that you don't understand English. कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा आप लोगों को जो सामने बैठे हैं। मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ स्पीच कंपटीशन और डिक्लेमेशन कंपटीशन में फ़र्क क्या है? कोई भी बता सकते हैं। स्पीच कंपटीशन और डिक्लेमेशन कंपटीशन में फ़र्क बताओ, कोई बताओ, कोई भी बैठे हैं वहाँ से बच्चे, किसी को नहीं पता? अभी यहाँ पर कौन सा कंपटीशन हुआ है? अच्छा, लेकिन वो लोग स्पीच ही तो दे रहे थे, स्पीच ही तो दे रहे थे वो लोग, तो फिर इसको डिक्लेमेशन क्यों कह रहे हैं? Yeah, somebody has put up the hand. Yes. Yeah, come. You can give that mic to her. Yes. Yeah, you speak from that mic. Yeah, use that mic. Yes. Whatever you understood.
Speech competition means our own lines and words, and declamation competition means the words of great personalities.
Very good, very good.
Clap loudly for this girl.
So that is the difference. Speech means it is your own. आपने लिख के prepare किया है and you are going to deliver that. Declamation means you are taking up someone else's speech which was already given and then you are trying to imitate that person. You are trying to imitate that great personality in front of the audience. So it was commendable, the work that the children have learned such a speeches by heart and declared in front of you. So congratulations once again to all the participants. Well, the inevitable part of every competition is that we need to declare the winners. It is not that others are losers, okay? It does not mean that the others are losers. I always say the very fact that you have come in front of the stage, come on the stage, shows that you are determined, you have the willpower, and you don't have the stage fear. You have learned how to speak. Speaking to your friend is different from speaking in the mic, right? So you need to have the sense of using the mic, the sense of the stage, how you stand, how you deliver, everything matters. And therefore, you are all winners, but ultimately, we need to find someone who stands first, second, and third. So I declare the prizes. So I said, see now, sometimes you may sing, the so-and-so person must have spoken better than this one, etc. The thing is, whatever you speak should be clear, distinct, and the pronunciation, etc. should be correct. So that's how the judging takes place. You understand? That's how the judging takes place. Someone must have spoken wonderfully, but the problem is when it comes to the criteria of judging, where the words were clear, distinct. What do you mean by distinct? That means the words should not be overlapping. The words should not be overlapping with the other. Sometimes certain sentences you speak such as fast way, that means certain words overlap, and therefore it does not become clear to the audience. So all these matters are kept in mind while judging. How clear you are, the clarity of speech, the distinction between the words and the pronunciations, etc. are taken care of. And therefore, ultimately, we have found 3 winners, right? Good. So we give away the prizes.